What's up guys, Mitchell with Blaze Off-Road here. Today, very exciting, we've got our new Bronco Garmin PowerSwitch Kit. We're gonna be doing the install on this sweet Bronco here behind us, as well as the SDHQ battery terminals for the Bronco and a full throttle battery. Let's hop in, get this guy installed, and show you how unbelievably easy wiring can be.
Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night, we'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us.
So we're gonna start our install by pulling off the factory battery terminals, pulling this battery out, dropping that full throttle in, and throwing the SDHQ terminals on. For this, it's super simple. We are gonna take the sensor off because SDHQ has that awesome new billet sensor mount. So we're gonna take this guy off, take everything off the ground, head over here to the positive, and then take it off from the terminal right here, pull that distribution block back, and then pull the terminal itself off. So let's jump into this. So now we pull this unit off here. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of this whole plastic housing here. There's a few little clips in here. Just take a little pick tool, pry them out, and then you'll be able to slide this distribution block off entirely, leaving the terminal and the plastic housing behind, so you can ditch that. I should actually note, one of the things that's a little bit more complex about this is that you do have a fuse in this block here. Still getting rid of that. And there's a wire that goes up underneath, so it runs through that housing. So you can cut that housing apart, but then you're cutting it near the battery and near wire, so it's not ideal. If you have a pick, or in this case, maybe even a little bit of a stout paper clip would do the job. You essentially just pull the fuse out. There's a little 3-amp fuse here. You're gonna pull that guy out, and towards you when you're standing over here, there's a little clip down in there, a little wedge lock. Just stick your little plastic fisher down in there, push that back, and then you can pull this wire out. I'm gonna go ahead and push this wire back in now. It's just locked in place, you can hear it click, and then throw the fuse back in. And now you've got this guy completely separate and ready to be thrown on to the SDHQ terminal once we get that installed. Next, we're just gonna pull off this battery cover bracket so we can pull the battery out. These are gonna be 13 mils. Get all your wires out of the way. Pull that battery out. It's a nice looking battery. Your bracket here says front, makes it super easy. So drop that guy back on there and get these nuts tightened back down. Now I'll start throwing the SDHQ terminals on. I'm gonna go ahead and get this positive one on here, mounted up. Get that nice and even, crank down. Now that everything's mounted around the battery terminal, the only place we have left is on top. So we're gonna go ahead, we trimmed up the cover from SDHQ. Now we're gonna take the factory distribution block, slide it over, and then get it mounted right here on top of this power terminal. This is so much cleaner than the factory one. For the ground, you actually have two terminals that need to go on. You've got the sensor terminal, which will go to the battery right here, and the sensor will go on top of that. And then you have the factory ground, the chassis ground, the fuse block ground, and then the body ground all mount right here to that terminal on top of the sensor. And then we have this billet distribution block that will actually go up here, and it'll get mounted here where this factory body ground will connect to this guy. And this will provide a little bit better connection point. Since this guy has a sensor on it, it really restricts how much you can connect to the terminal here. And you do want that sensor monitoring the full load on the vehicle so it knows how to charge, it knows how to control all of its own systems. So to retain that functionality on these modern vehicles, the distribution blocks, these billet distribution blocks, are definitely the best way to go. So we're gonna take 13, get this guy removed, and then mount that up in its place. Now that we've got the billet block mounted here on the inner fender for your body ground, the last part of the battery and terminal install is the SDHQ sensor terminal. Now this guy has this crazy looking nut on the back, and the sockets in your toolbox and the wrenches will not work on it because it's an e-Torx, an inverted Torx or external Torx. I don't remember exactly which size it is, because you can use channel locks to get this off, or vice grips, or whatever you've got. So don't go buying another special tool. You don't have to for this. It's not super tight. Just be very, very careful of the sensor. Don't pull on it. Don't grab it to twist the terminal. Don't mount it in a vise. You can mount the terminal itself in a vise, is what we do, and then grab it with a pair of vice grips, lock them on nice and tight, and pop it loose. Comes off super easy. And then you're gonna slide this guy right down here. You can plug that sensor in, and then get this guy reconnected. It'll make a bunch of noises because it's a modern vehicle and they do that. And then get this guy tightened back down. Now for the easy part. I'm sure you thought this would be the hard part. It's actually not. Installing this power switch is a breeze. There's 2 bolts to hold it in. One of them is included with the kit. Right there, super simple, little nice M8. And then one of them, you can use a 13mm wrench. It's right here behind the back of the fuse block. And I have no idea how we're gonna show you guys this bolt, because you can see it by looking down, but that camera is not getting in here. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy loose. Now, this bracket has a nice slot on it. So, thanks to that part of the design, which is not in the original design of the very first prototype, but we quickly added it because this makes it so much easier to install. Thanks to that part of the design, all you have to do is loosen that bolt down there. You're gonna take this guy, and it is, so this space here, and then the space around here is all for running wires and the factory wires. So you have a bunch of factory stuff back here. So all of this is designed to allow that factory stuff to essentially follow its original path. So we're gonna take this guy, slide it down. Just be mindful of your factory wires, where everything's at. And then with all of the kits, we'll ship this guy along with a nice large fender washer that I don't have at the moment. So we'll get this guy tightened down and installed, and I'll show you what it looks like installed. All right, from here, things get even easier because all we have to do is connect 2 ground, 1 power cable, and this kit's install is completely done. We're gonna start with the primary ground cable going to the ground bar back here. You're gonna take the nut and lock washer off of the Blue Sea ground bar. Throw your ground cable on, and then they get this guy reinstalled and tightened down. Next, we'll be connecting the thin ground cable that comes with the Garmin PowerSwitch. We're gonna route this guy down underneath this ground, under the kit, and then connect it straight to your Garmin PowerSwitch to the ground terminal here. Now up here on the battery terminal, these are both going to this billet block. Tighten those guys down, and your ground is done. We'll move on to the power cable. Something very important about connecting power cables to pretty much any product on your vehicle, you always want to connect them at the product first, or the termination on not your battery first. The reason being is if we connect this to the battery first, now we're taking a live wire and fishing it through a bunch of things that are definitely grounded. So good practice, always, even if there's not a battery in the vehicle, just a good practice is always connect this guy first. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Connects to the power switch here. And then from there, this will run up to the terminal fuse that's on the battery. So now you see how incredibly easy it is to install the battery terminals, and of course our power switch kit on these Broncos. From here, you're essentially ready to wire your lights. We have harnesses pre-made for the vast majority of lights that you'll put on these vehicles. So if you throw ditch light brackets on, we have ditch light harnesses for you here at the shop that we ship out to you guys. Simply go to the website, place an order for that. Light bars, roof bars, everything you need on the front of this vehicle for lighting, we've got you covered. We also have control harnesses and power harnesses for the ARB twin compressors. So to wire any of that, you're essentially going to throw the power wire onto the Garmin PowerSwitch, one of the 6 outputs. You choose switch 1 through 6, wire it there, super easy. And then throw the ground onto the ground bar right here, and you're done. You're ready to rock, ready to power that light or do whatever you need. Also, on this vehicle, we've connected the upfitter switches directly to the Garmin PowerSwitch. So if you meet in the cab, I'll show you what that does. On a lot of the new vehicles, you have upfitter switches straight from the factory. On this vehicle, The lower amperage upfitter switches are 3 through 6. So we went ahead and wired 6 up to power the light bar on the front of the vehicle, and then 5 is pre-wired, ready to rock for whatever the customer would like to program on this one. The cool thing about this is that you can use the one switch to power all 6 of the accessories, and if you ever upgrade to go with, or expand to go with another power switch in the future, it's super easy to program that one switch to control up to all 12 or 18 or 24 of your accessories, depending on how many power switches you're rocking. So super simple, very clean, very easy to install on this, especially because we didn't even have to extend those upfitter wires on the Bronco. We designed our kit to be right next to them. All you got to do is trim it, throw a ring terminal on, and connect it to the 2 inputs on the Garmin, and you're ready to go. All right guys, as you can see, the Garmin PowerSwitch is incredibly easy to install on these new Broncos. Ford did a killer job giving us the perfect spot to mount that thing right next to the upfitter wiring, making control of it super easy. You can also control it from your phone, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or of course one of the Garmin tablets such as the Overlander or Tread Overland Edition. Hop on our website, check this thing out. All the links are in the bio for the products we've used today, as well as wiring harnesses, lighting, and all that. Head over to blazeoffroad.com for all that stuff. Thanks for watching.